Namaskar and thank you for joining us here on Express News, where we give you news in quick time. Let's begin. The members of the Parliament of India's ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, gave a rousing welcome to Prime Minister Narendra Modi at a Parliamentary Party meeting in New Delhi. India's Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said that the Prime Minister exuded confidence in the party after winning 3 states and said that the party has increased its strength multiple times. On the 4th day of the winter session of the Indian Parliament, the lower house resumed proceedings with the question hour. The Lok Sabha passed the Central Universities Amendment Bill. Indian Minister of External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar, while responding to a question on official visits to Latin America, shared that trade with Latin America is nearing $50 billion. Speaking in India's upper house of Parliament, or the Rajya Sabha, India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that India's second quarter growth has been the highest in the world, while other developed countries contracted. Addressing the CII Global Economic Policy Forum meet in New Delhi, India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman called upon the world leaders to become the voice of the Global South and to work continuously for the problem of climate change. She further said that the country saved 2 trillion rupees through direct benefit transfer, that digitalization ensures transparency and good governance. India's External Affairs Ministry gave an update on the case of the former Indian Navy personnel who have been sentenced to death in Qatar. The ministry said that the next hearing in the case will be conducted soon. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has been ranked 32nd on Forbes' annual list of the world's 100 most powerful women. Forbes' annual list includes influential women from various sectors such as politics, business, media and entertainment. Rwanda's Foreign Minister Vincent Biruta arrived in New Delhi on Thursday. The Foreign Minister is on an official visit to further enhance India-Rwanda ties. India's President Draupadi Murmu attended the Lakshmipat Singhania IIM Lucknow National Leadership Award ceremony in India's capital, New Delhi, on Thursday. Speaking on the occasion, she said that climate change and ecological disturbances are the result of the same. Today, the whole world is struggling with this challenge. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval reached Mauritius to attend the 6th NSA-level meeting of the Colombo Security Conclave. The Colombo Security Conclave includes India, Sri Lanka and Maldives. Telangana Congress Chief Revant Reddy took oath as the new Chief Minister of the southern state on Thursday. The swearing-in ceremony was held in Hyderabad. India is observing the 74th Armed Forces Flag Day today. The day serves as a tribute to the martyrs and brave men in uniform who valiantly defended India's borders, preserving the honor of the nation. On Armed Forces Flag Day, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged citizens to make contributions to Armed Forces Flag Day Fund. As part of the Indo-US joint exercise Vajraphara 2023, the Indian Air Force, along with the Indian Army, conducted various exercises with US troops in a Mi-17 helicopter at the Umiam Lake in Shillong. The Indian government's defense manufacturing arm, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, showcased its rich legacy in design, development and production of diverse range of avionics systems during the Avionics Expo 2023 at New Delhi. The Indian Air Force's C-17 successfully airdropped the ADRDE developed Type 5 platform for the first time. Domestic benchmark indices slipped on Thursday. The Nifty dipped 36.50 points, settling at 20,901.20. The Sensex slipped 132.04 points and settled at 69,521.69. The Indian rupee fell 4 paise and closed at 83.36 against the US dollar. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of February next year stood at 62,570 rupees per 10 grams on the Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on 5th March next year stood at 74,821 per kg on the MCX. US stocks ended down on Wednesday as signs of a cooling of jobs market reinforced expectations that the Federal Reserve could start cutting interest rates early next year. The data showed S&P 500 declined 0.39%, the Nasdaq declined 0.58%, the Dow Jones Industrial declined 0.19%. Asian futures slipped with Wall Street on Thursday. Also, sharp fall in oil prices to a 5-month low promised to further reduce inflationary pressures and help boost the global bond market. In a high-profile trial in New York City last month, the former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted of fraud and money laundering. The case, along with others, has spurred discussions on regulating digital currencies. The outcome of Bankman-Fried's trial may have significant implications for the future of cryptocurrency regulation. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu approved a minimal fuel entry increase for Gaza Strip. Amidst the escalating tensions in the Israel-Hamas conflict, Israel's political security cabinet gave the green light to this decision. The US Senate blocked a bill that would have provided security assistance for both Ukraine and Israel. The bill was to provide about $50 billion in new security assistance for Ukraine and money for humanitarian aid for Kiev. Israeli forces retrieved RPG missile, anti-tank and long-range missiles, explosive devices, grenades and UAVs. The forces they've claimed that the ammunitions are stored in schools and a medical facility in Gaza by Hamas to use for terrorism. The producers of the Nova Music Festival attacked by Hamas recreated the venue in Tel Aviv. The exhibition was designed for the whole world to see what happened at the Israel festival. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter and formally warned the Security Council of a global threat from the Israel-Hamas conflict. Powerful explosion rocked the industrial district of the Russian-controlled Donetsk city, setting on fire the oil depot. The Russian-backed city authorities haven't commented on this incident. The US President Joe Biden pleaded with Republicans for a fresh infusion of military aid to Ukraine, warning that a victory for Russia over Ukraine would leave Moscow in a position to attack NATO allies. US National Security spokesperson John Kirby said that the US continues to watch the burgeoning defense relationship between Iran and Russia. He added that Iran is a threat to the security in the Middle East. Russia presidential election will take place on March 17, 2024. Decision was taken in the upper house. According to the Russian law, the upper house of parliament must announce the exact date at least 100 days before the vote. The US Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, met Britain's Foreign Minister David Cameron on the Capitol Hill, and the Republican leader of the US House of Representatives urged for more information on Ukraine's strategy and immigration policy changes. In the US, a shooting on the main campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, left at least 3 people dead before the bloodshed ended with the suspect's own death. Another person was also shot and is in a critical condition. The Russian President Putin made significant visits to the UAE and Saudi Arabia, strengthening ties and defying Western isolation. Oil cooperation and the Israel-Hamas conflict were key topics. Putin also discussed further cooperation on oil prices with the Saudi Crown Prince. Putin and the Crown Prince had the hastily arranged talks hours after the Kremlin leader visited Saudi Arabia, the Gulf neighbor of Saudi Arabia, the UAE. Putin's visit comes after the OPEC Plus agreed to voluntary supply cuts totaling 2.2 million barrels a day, included an extension of existing Saudi and Russian voluntary cuts of 1.3 million barrels per day. A container ship collided with a floating bridge in the eastern lane of the Suez Canal. Tugboats rescued the ship after it suffered a fault with its rudder on its way from Singapore to the Netherlands. The US President Joe Biden and leaders of the group of 7 countries met virtually with the Ukrainian President Zelensky. They all agreed to a new ban on Russian diamonds. The countries will ban non-industrial diamonds from Russia by January under the new measures. Britain's Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick has resigned after the UK government published draft emergency legislation aimed at getting its Rwanda migrant deportation scheme up and running. Chilean government confirmed the death of 3 Argentine climbers who went missing last week on Marmelejo Mountain. The bodies had previously been spotted by a private helicopter involved in the search of the climbers. A massive fire engulfed a multi-story commercial building in Pakistan's largest southern port city of Karachi. The police officials say that at least 3 people were killed and several shops were damaged in the blaze. Authorities in Colombia and Brazil have destroyed 19 illegal gold mining sites and equipment in the Amazon rainforest as part of joint efforts with Brazil to crack down on gold mines in the area. Italy has quit China's Belt and Road Initiative. The BRI agreement between the 2 countries expires on March 2024, and Rome has said that it will not be renewing the pact. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said that the Israeli Defense Forces are encircling the house of Yahya Sinwar, who is the chief of Hamas in Gaza. Sinwar is also one of the main masterminds behind the Hamas attacks. The Paris mayor Anne Hidalgo visited the urban forest site to take a stock of the ongoing work. Paris is planning to plant its first urban forest as part of a plan to turn the French capital into a green city. The New York Attorney General's office said that Donald Trump should remain barred from publicly speaking about court staff in his civil fraud trial. The judge overseeing the case issued the gag order on October 3. The former Peruvian president Alberto Fujimori, who was serving a 25-year prison term for human rights abuses, was released. In fact, the release followed Peru's highest court restoring a contentious 2017 pardon on humanitarian grounds. Rescue operations at the Indonesian volcano Mount Merapi is complete. The authorities have recommended people not to be allowed to climb it. Indonesia rescuers also found last missing hiker on a volcano. Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh conducted an aerial survey of the Chennai city in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. The city has been battling floods triggered by the cyclone Migjom. Migjom made its landfall in Andhra Pradesh state before hitting the Andhra coast. The storm wreaked havoc across Tamil Nadu and Puducherry as well. Rajnath Singh also met the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, and took stock of relief measures. Coast Guard used a helicopter to rescue 5 people stranded by floods in Roseburg, Washington. Rescuers lifted stranded people to safety and transported them to Air Station for medical services. Flash floods caused by heavy rain inundated roads in Washington's Arlington. The National Weather Service has advised people not to drive on flooded roads. A 2-week-long food carnival and cultural festival is underway in the North Indian city of Shimla. Traditional dishes and dance performances are some of the attractions at the event. Thailand's Songkran Festival has been recognized as UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage. The festival is the 4th cultural heritage of Thailand to be on the list. A Nigerian man, Jubril Yunus, is promoting viewership of Indian movies among his Hossa tribe mates, expressing admiration for the storylines, the clothes, the culture in the films. NASA on Wednesday celebrated 25 years of the International Space Station's operations with a live talk between astronauts in space and officials at the Johnson Space Center. Google parent Alphabet has introduced its most advanced artificial intelligence model called Gemini, a technology capable of crunching different forms of information such as video, audio, and text. Meta Platforms on Wednesday said that it has started to roll out end-to-end encryption for all personal chats and calls on Messenger and Facebook. A magnetic surgical robot completed its first international procedure of gallbladder removal at a public hospital in Chile. The robot, created by California-based startup Levita Magnetics, allows surgeons to attach a small magnet to the organs and use robotic arms with high-powered magnets on the patient's belly to remove the organs. Doctors in Peru have successfully separated conjoined infant twins that shared a liver during a 4-hour operation that took place in November. More than 28 multidisciplinary and multi-institutional specialists were involved in this operation. Following the operation, one of the twins is in good health, the other remains to be in intensive care. Artificial intelligence industry experts gathered in New York City in the US for the 8th annual AI Summit to forecast the industry's trajectory. The summit, spanning 2 days, is uniting knowledge leaders, policymakers and corporate executives for the discourse and workshops amid a global push for tech regulation. In Australia, 17 kilometers of the state of Victoria's rural roads and pathways devoid of power have been painted with special photoluminescent paint. This is to curb car crashes at night. Copenhagen's 180-year-old Tivoli amusement park has been decorated with 45 kilometers of Christmas light chains along with Christmas trees ahead of the festive season. Ukrainians flocked to the capital Kiev's city center to watch the main Christmas tree being lit up on Wednesday, marking St. Nicholas Day. Britain's Queen Camilla received children suffering from serious and terminal illnesses to decorate the Christmas tree at Clarence House, one of the royal residences in London. Santa Claus swapped his sleigh and reindeer for a helicopter to visit young patients in Guatemala City's Jazel Refuge. This is ahead of Christmas season. The British artist Jessie Darling has been awarded the 2023 Turner Prize for Contemporary Art, taking home £25,000 as this year's winner. A new interactive exhibition titled Harry Potter Visions of Magic is set to premiere in the western German city of Cologne on December 8. Set to run till June 2 next year, the exhibition will equip visitors with a magic wand and allow them to interact with sites in the Harry Potter-themed universe. Indian actors Ali Fazal and Richa Chadda's maiden project, it's called Girls Will Be Girls, has been selected for the world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival 2024. The Indian actor Chandan Roy Sanyal's directional debut titled Susie Q is set to premiere at the Kolkata International Film Festival 2023 on the 9th and the 10th of December. The Hindi musical drama film The Archies, starring the debutant actors Agastya Nanda, Suhana Khan, Kushi Kapoor, Aditi Dot and others, has released on Netflix. Netflix has officially renewed the reality show Squid Game, the challenge for a second season. The show is inspired by the fictional drama series Squid Game. The American mega pop star Taylor Swift has been named Time magazine's Person of the Year. Swift launched a record-shattering global tour this year, becoming the world's most streamed musical artist in 2023. The National Board of Review, a long-running organization comprised of film enthusiasts and academics, has named American director Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon as the best film of the year. Filipino-English singer and songwriter known for her stage name Bebo D has released a new live album on streaming services titled Live in LA. The Korean pop group GOT7's Bam Bam has announced the US leg of the Solo World Tour, Area 52, set to take place in February 2024. Marking the new film Wonka's release on December 8, a life-size chocolate statue of the actor Timothy Chalamet's character Willy Wonka was unveiled in London's Trafalgar Square. Weighing 100 kgs, the statue was molded by a team of chocolate sculptors over a period of 5 weeks using 90 litres of melted chocolate. The England women's team trounced India by 38 runs in the first T20 international of the 3-match series in Mumbai on Wednesday. The Indian leg spinner Ravi Bishnoi became the world's #1 T20I bowler, replacing Rashid Khan as per the latest ICC rankings. The Indian cricket team was greeted with a rousing reception as the players and the members of the support staff arrived in Durban on Thursday. The left-arm pacer Sam Curran led England to a series-levelling 6-wicket victory over the West Indies in the second ODI one-day international in Antigua. Mushfiqur Rahim became the first Bangladesh batter to be ever given out for obstructing the field in a test match. The incident took place on the first day of the second test against New Zealand at Mirpur. National Rifle Association of India has officially roped in the Indian Olympian and the first Indian individual Olympic gold medalist Abhinav Bindra as a mentor to prepare for the air pistol and rifle teams for the Paris Games. Champions Manchester City went down 1-0 to Aston Villa. This happened after losing ground further in the Premier League title race. Coach Carlos Queiroz has ended his association with Qatar soccer national team less than a year after inking a 4-year contract. Granada winger and Spain international Brian Zaragoza will join German club Bayern Munich next season. This is on a 5-year contract after an agreement between the clubs. And finally, the Formula One teams have issued statements denying that they have made complaints about the behavior of Toto and Susie Wolff. And that's all we have in Express News. Thank you very much for joining us. Namaskar.